The other things that I did not talk about, so you come up, say we go out back, take this, go back to board detail. And another way that we can provide detail is I put a hole in that board, and I'm going to put a circle, and it would be 12 inches from the bottom and 12 inches from the left. It'll be a 2-inch diameter, and it'll be 3/4 of an inch. It doesn't have to be all the way through. And there it is. Okay, so if I come back to the assembly, come back and there's my hole. Now, if you change some aspect of a board at the detail level, anytime you manipulate that board, you're going to get this warning that you might be changing something that you don't want to change. 99% of the time, it's an unneeded warning. The only time it's important is if I changed on that door, if I change this, the length of that board, it will mess up the miter because it's just stretching that, and it doesn't account for that. Someday it will, but it doesn't today. So you get that warning a lot, but it only matters if you've shaped a board. And I delete that board. I want to replace it. All right. So I'm going to put in a new board, and I'm going to call this top. But I want a different material. I just want to show you the material function a little bit. I don't want any of these. These are like the most recently used, but I want a different kind. And I'm looking here and it's saying, well, say we want to put a 1/2-inch board in, and I don't see anything I really want to use. So I can go and do an add new material by clicking that plus sign. Right. So a new material needs a name. I'm going to call this, I don't know, test top. You have to specify the material type. And then this is the size of the sheet in this case. So I'm going to call it 48 by 96. And this time we're going to go with a 1/2 inch. Horizontal scale and vertical scale, you don't really have to worry about. The grain direction is going to run the 96. Now here's where I pick what I want to use. And you know, you can take any of these and you can put a TV, you can make a board that looks like a TV, put a TV on your bookshelf, or a wall. You can have a wall of a certain color. I'm just going to kind of go through here and say I take that. You can change. You could turn it into transparent glass, and you can even enter in the cost per unit. Now that's the one I want to add. So I pick my test top like that. The width will be 24. The height will be a 1/2. I guess that doesn't make too much sense. And the depth will be 24. I meant to put it on the back. So let me do, well, no. And then that's going to be the grain. So it's insert and sized. I have to grab that and pull it up to the top. Oops. Control Z. Get you back to where you were. Take this, bottom to top, like that. Okay, so materials. The reports. In the hobby version, you have a cut list. And door panel, you see, it's the 13.5, which has the 2 1/4-inch tenons on it. And that was 16 1/4, and now it's 16 3/4. So you get all of the the assemblies. The sub-assemblies are the subcontainers, doors and drawers. Part name, the sheet, the type of material, and the specific name of the material you created. Now contrast that with the professional version. We have a wizard, so you can, this is very powerful. I was talking to someone the other day about some of the things it can do, but say I pick this and sort of the typical stuff. But in addition to that, say I wanted to some locational values on it, and I'm only interested in the cut sizes. And some whole information. So I generate, and I can go in and I can sort these by, I can say I want you to sort by part name. I can go in and add a filter and say, only give me material, which is 3/4 of an inch, and then generate. And here's the material. Now, what I should have put the nominal sizes here so you'd see the differences, but they're there. And in this case, here are the locational values. So it might be a little more information about the board. You say, well, the rail top, but you can put any information we store about a board or a door or drawer, you can put in here. So this can be a really big report. You can sort it different ways and you can display what you want. Shop drawing. Now again, shop drawings, you get to dimension and draw things at the level you're at. So if I go back here, I want to make this wider, the project. I'm going to make this say 60. So you see now I guess I deleted that other board, but that's all right. If I take this and clone and mirror, so now I have two assemblies and they're flipped. That's, what I wanted. I'm at the project level. You see the floor. If I come in, I do shop drawings, do a new shop drawing. I'm at the shop drawing level. I can only dimension the assemblies. I can't go into an assembly and dimension because I'm at the project level. So I can dimension the lines 24 by 24, and I can go in this tool and I can enter the points like here, the distance between the assemblies, but I can't go into an assembly and do anything because that's the thing about where I am in the nest. So I'm going to save that, grab that assembly, and go and do another shop drawing new. I'm still at the project level. Sorry about that. Let me get out. So I come to the assembly level like that, and then go into shop drawing. Now I can go into the kind of the makeup of it. So here's that's the okay. But I can't go into the door because I have to be into the door level. Okay, so it's a kind of a distinction. This will show me the outline of the drawer size, but if I want to dimension detail, I'd have to go into the drawer. So what I do is I just stack up a bunch of these drawings as I save them. The dimensions that I'm going to need. So if I want to know, say, the size between here and the center of that hole, I use the point command. Say, well, that's 12 inches from there, and it is 6.5 inches from there. Or I can say that that door is 2 inches off the floor, which we knew. Now, sometimes if you're poking around and it doesn't seem to take, give you a red dot, it's looking for corners. And if you don't pick up the corner, either you're just missing it or you're at the wrong level. So I could do that. I could take this, oops, take the pointer and take this and say, well, I wasn't interested in the width of that. I was interested in this height. So I can take this and move it around. You can't really, you can only do that with point-to-point tools. So, okay. And then the final, which I'm always hoping works, is the optimizer. And there it is. Now this is kind of the, here I can make that full screen like this. And I use the wheel on my mouse to get that down to size. But this will show you the, how to lay out the sheet goods. I can put, let's see. Oh, cut lines. Put the cut lines on. So it'll show you the dimensions of your various cuts. You can change your kerf. You can put a trim if if you're used to cutting the material off the edges of